and then we're going to put that onto Facebook. So give me just 1 second.
I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody now. Means I muted you too, Daniel.
All right, welcome everybody to the Buckner Terrace community meeting on February 22nd, 2022. It's a awesome day all the way around. I think we're all going to start freezing this evening. I don't know if everybody's covered up their plants or not, but it's time to do that this evening if you haven't. But welcome. We've got quite a crowd with us this evening, and I'm just here to tell you we got some exciting things happening. So before we jump into everything, I want to just take a moment to acknowledge that we have a couple important guests that we're going to talk to in just a little bit. We have Dr. Davis, who is the principal at Frank Guzik Elementary School. You know, she's been around for a long time. She's been over there quietly working with her and her awesome staff. So we got some exciting news for Guzik. And then we've seen Principal Joseph last month. He came and told us a little bit, but he actually has got some exciting news to share as well that, you know, you may or may not have seen. But let's get started. Let's do the minutes real quick, and let me post them up real quick. And I'm going to share the minutes quickly. All right, so can I get a motion? The minutes from the January 25th, 2022 meeting are on the screen. It was a short meeting, but if I can get a motion for the minutes.
I so moved, Jean Larson.
Thanks, Jean. And a second. Thanks, Mr. White. I appreciate that. And any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, excellent. And the second thing is the treasurer's report that was presented last month with an opening balance of $2,011.22, an ending balance of $1,857.08, presented by Treasurer Tom White. If we could get a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Thanks, B. Seconded by Jesse. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And Mr. White's new treasurer's report is beginning balance of $1,857.08, ending balance of $2,032.94. That was with 10 new memberships paid for the year. So if you haven't paid your memberships, please do take a moment to pay that. If you can, we definitely operate solely on your donation. I mean, it's your contribution of your dues of only $24 per year. So we appreciate that. So ending balance as of 1/31 is $2,032.94. And we'll add this to the minutes for this meeting and we'll approve it at the next meeting. So with that, the last thing that I want to just share so that we don't have to come back to this, early voting is happening right now, y'all. And you can vote our local, you can vote at any Dallas County polling location, but our local polling location is the Skyline Branch Library at 6006 Everglade Road, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. through Friday. And then our election day is on March 1st, 2022. DallasCountyVotes.org if you have any questions, or reach out to us and we will share that information. All right, so I just stop sharing all of that and we can jump in. Do we have any visitors that would just like to say hello and introduce themselves? Some people that we haven't seen for a while. Can I just say welcome back, Olden? We appreciate you coming back. You know, he always texts me after the meeting and said, you know, I was gonna come and then I just missed it. So welcome back, Olden. Anybody else that hasn't been here a while that might want to say hello?
Hi, good evening. I'm a first-time guest. I'm here in support of Principal Joseph and Principal Davis. I'm with the Dallas Independent School District. My name is Shakita Butler.
Awesome, welcome. Thank you for coming to our community. We appreciate it.
Hi, I'm new as well. I'm with Councilmember Basil Dua's office. You might have met with Christina before, but she's transitioned to a new role with the city. And so I'm stepping in for her on behalf of Councilmember Basil Dua.
Thank you for coming, Ryan, and look forward to meeting with you. This is actually Councilman Basil Dua's neighborhood, so we all know him very well, and we do appreciate Councilman Basil Dua. One thing that Councilman Basil Dua did want me to mention, I don't know if he'll jump on or not, but the sexually orientated businesses, which affects our neighborhood because of the Tiger Cabaret, are required to close at 2 a.m. Between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. So that club can no longer be open all night long, just across the freeway in our neighborhood. So that was one thing Councilman Basil Dua wanted me to mention. But if he jumps on in a little bit, I know he had another engagement, but if he jumps on, he's welcome to elaborate. But all right, any other, we have Judge Martinez.
Hi, neighbors. I'm Judge Martinez. I am your Justice of the Peace here in Buckner Terrace. The courthouse is over on 30 in St. Francis. I am on the ballot right now, so I encourage you all to early vote. And I've been living in Buckner Terrace now for 6 years. I love it here. And I've been really happy to be part of some of the things that we've done here in the neighborhood, such as Halloween, school supply drive, the snow cones over at the Everglade Park over the summer. So I would love to have your vote and your support, and I hope that you all make it to the polls before the bad weather comes in on Thursday.
Excellent. Thank you, Judge Martinez. And we do, if I call Judge Martinez and ask for anything and say, hey, can you participate in this? The answer is always yes. So we appreciate that. And, thank you for your continued service to our community. She's very modest. And one thing that she's very fair about is the eviction stuff that's happening a lot right now. She's very fair, and she looks at, all the rules and makes sure that, it's legitimate and all of that. I don't know all the rules. I don't know all the, processes, but she's very fair from what I understand from other people that are actually helping a lot of tenants go to courts, and they're not being treated fairly because they don't have the right representation. But I know Judge Martinez always takes that into account. So thank you for taking care of it.
I want to add briefly that my court, JP51, out of the 10 Justice of the Peace courts, has the lowest rate of evictions. And it's precisely for the reason that you mentioned, that there's a complex network of regulations and orders at the city level, at the state level, at the county level. And you really have to be knowledgeable of those in order to have a fair effect. So I'm proud to say that our court has the lowest rate of eviction out of all 10.
So thank you for that. Obviously if somebody, doesn't, do what they're supposed to do. But 9 out of 10 chances, a lot of these folks just have done what they thought they should do. And, but nonetheless, thank you for this service. Anybody else that would like to introduce themselves? That hasn't been here in a while. I see Derek and Michelle. We haven't seen them, our neighbors, for a while. So welcome back, y'all. We're glad to have you. All right. Without further ado, let me introduce again Dr. Davis. Dr. Davis, can you tell us some exciting news that you got last week at your school?
Absolutely. So first off, thank you so much for inviting me to the community meeting. And yes, we are now a very proud International Baccalaureate PYP campus. So we have the supporting of our district to transform our campus in a phenomenal way. And so we're so very excited. I have a presentation. No, Daniel asked me to share 10 or 15 minutes about our journey. And so if I can share my screen, I would love to
I just made you a co-host. So you should.
Thank you. I didn't.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
All right. Let me share my screen. So I don't forget anything exciting about what we have going on at Guzik. Can everybody see like my entire screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Just the presentation?
You see the presentation with just a little header at the top. But it's
Okay.
It's good.
Is it fine?
Oh, now you just took it away.
Okay, let me go
Go
back.
back to where you were. It was good. There
All
you
right,
go.
how are we looking?
We're good.
Full screen?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, perfect. All right, and so just wanted to share a little bit about myself. Did it move to the next one?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I am a 16-year educator and 9 years in Dallas ISD, 6 years as the very proud principal here at Frank Guzik Elementary School. Also, I'm a Dallas ISD graduate, so a proud product of the Dallas ISD and a Dallas ISD parent. My two younger children attend a choice campus, so Dr. Martin Luther King Fine Arts Academy, and then also Irma Rangel, my middle daughter. And so just excited about all the great things that are going on here in Dallas ISD. And of course, it's without further ado that we make sure that those same things are happening here on our campus at Frank Guzik. And so one of the things that we embarked on in 2020 is we became an avid elementary campus, one of 40 campuses that are including that avid program, where we're really thinking about preparing our kids for college, even at the elementary level, and just for the global society with so much going on. And so we saw that our vision that we have for educating our students, the whole child, was aligned with the IB-PYP framework. And so after doing research, we saw that for sure our kids will benefit beyond a shadow of a doubt with adding in the IB-PYP curriculum. And so one of the things that we always pride ourselves on is just making sure that our mission is in action. You see it throughout our building. We saw that the IB-PYP program would be very complementary. One of the things that when you're going through the public school choice application process, you have to make sure that your campus is ready for something of this magnitude. And so in a few moments, you'll see the journey that we went on. However, for the past 6 years, our mission has been in action. We've been preparing our kids through including the AVID program on our campus, and then now very fortunate to be able to bring in and really solidify what we see as great possibilities for our kids with IB-PYP. All right, and so we definitely see that we have kids that are coming to us. We have a very unique campus, high mobility rate. And so we always thought that it was important when we do our CNA and CIP at the end of the year. We're exploring ways to make sure that it doesn't matter if our kids come in October, if they come in January, that they know the Guzik way and they feel like they're a part of the culture. They see the high expectations that we have for academics and also finding ways to make them feel like they're part of the campus. And so that IB-PYP program was right aligned with creating those Guzik giant, awesome kids that feel like from the very beginning, they're part of our culture. And so we started this journey in November of 2020. So the district is super awesome with providing opportunities for you to explore different models. And so we received the innovation grant to explore the IB-PYP model in November of 2020. That allowed us, even during the pandemic year, to do virtual visits to different IB campuses within the district. And then we also sought out some different IB models outside of the district. And so we were able to upgrade our technology and really see if we were fit to be able to bring in such an awesome program to our campus. And so, of course, we always do things together. And so we had an IB-PYP leadership committee that looked to see if we had those things in place, curriculum-wise, professional development-wise, to be able to take on such an initiative. And so we collaborated with our district IB leadership team in the past semester, and then we finally submitted that 40-page application in January. We went through a second round, which was the panel interview, and we are now a proud IB PYP campus moving into year 0. And so what that looks like is we're planning, right? We're preparing to become a candidate school. So we'll be getting the support of the district, but then also seeking out the IB program, which is an international program, to really make sure that we have the things in place to implement the program with fidelity. And so year 0 starts in April. It goes through the summer with our teachers attending trainings. We're really aligning the curriculum that we have in the district with the IB model and framework, and just really making sure that we're preparing ourselves for year 1, which is our implementation year. We'll be preparing for IB PYP authorization, making sure that we have all those things in place for full implementation in year 2. So we're extremely excited about this opportunity. It has been a journey, to say the least. And we're just excited about the support that we have from the district and then also from the community.
Excellent. Congratulations on your hard work. I know that you have been working for many years on that achievement, and I appreciate all of that work that you've done. Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Davis? I'm sure that there'll be some questions along the way. And, you know, as our entire neighborhood, when you hear the next story, the entire neighborhood is going to change. Attendance boundaries are going to change, and different things are going to change. And that'll be a discussion, and that's all part of the planning. So as Dr. Davis alluded, none of these changes happen quickly. The district does it very thoughtfully, and they implement it to be the best success for our students as we embark on the new adventures for the community. So, all right, if we don't have any questions, I think we'll hand this over to Principal Joseph. And I didn't tell anybody to make a presentation, so sorry if I left you out there to dry, Principal Joseph.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Definitely no presentation.
Before can I just jump in? Hello again, everyone. Thank you, Daniel. Shakitha Butler again. I'm an executive director in the Office of Transformation and Innovation. I actually lead the process that Dr. Davis spoke of that our schools go through to become a choice school. It is a rigorous process. We did receive several applications this year, as we do every year, and we only select the top performing schools. So she's correct. It is. It's pretty significant. It's pretty special for her school to have been selected. And we will be funding the school for 3 years. So they will have our financial support to train teachers, to buy any type of materials, any type of curriculum resources that will be needed as they transition to IB. Also, I just want to clarify, because IB have very strict rules with the use of their name. The school is not a IB school as of yet, but they have the green light from Dallas ISD to move in that direction, and they will have the funding and our support to apply for IB and go through the full process that the International Baccalaureate Organization has to receive that official designation. Sorry, Mr. Joseph.
Oh, thank you for that clarification, but I do know with Dr. Davis's energy and her staff, I think they're going to fly through that process. So thank you for that information.
Absolutely.
And just to give another really quick tidbit, there's actually 4 schools in our immediate area: Urban Park, Urban Park, off Jim Miller and Military, and Bales Elementary, which is just north of 30 in the Claremont neighborhood. also receive, I don't know what their designations are, but they also receive designations for choice schools. So Dr. Davis, Principal Joseph, Urban Park, and Bales. So y'all, what does that tell you about our community? Yeah.
You're rocking it. So Urban Park was selected for STEM. So they're going in the area of sciences, and Bell's was selected for leadership.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So that just gives all of our neighborhood so many options for good education. All right, let's talk to Principal Joseph. Go for it.
Yeah, no, we're celebrating tonight, and so thank you for that segue, Ms. Butler, and also Ms. Davis. We're celebrating, and so earlier, Judge Martinez mentioned, some of the things that we've done earlier on in a row with the Halloween drive and supply drives and things like that. One thing was consistent was the community support, the family support. But one of the other challenges and some of the things that we've been talking about all year with Edna Rowe specifically is that we're losing students. We had a 5-year problem of losing students. Over 5 years, we've lost about 150 students. And so the conversation that we've been having over the course of the year is how do we become more competitive? And so, Ms. Butler, we're happy to have you here. What we're celebrating is that we've written a proposal. We asked the district for additional resources to help us become more innovative. And so again, congratulations, Dr. Davis. I too am celebrating. We say that our friends over at Urban Park are also celebrating that we're receiving more resources to become innovative. And so that's the great news for our communities. That's great news for our students in particular. The innovation application that we applied for, as you know, is Montessori. And so what that does is specifically the guidelines is around 7 principles, primarily setting the environment for our students. Dr. Davis mentioned IB and pushing our students further and making them competitive around the world. But one of the things that our data shows is that our early learners are struggling with reading comprehension and developing some of those foundational skills. And so that's what we plan on focusing on at Montessori specifically, creating the environment for our students to become learners, allowing them to move around, have choice, learn with their peers, and essentially just kind of take ownership of their learning through their interests. And so we also went through the application, extremely rigorous, but we're happy to be on the other side. And so we're ready to start to make progress. Next year is going to be a planning year, and then we plan on doing a full rollout in the year of 2023-24. So the hard work begins. And Ms. Butler, you and I have become best friends, and I can't wait to get back to it. But we have to talk about things like enrollment and how many students can our building hold, and some of the new zoning, and getting our teachers trained, and just working out the budget and so much more. So the conversations continue. Thank you for the opportunity to come present to you all, but this is what we need. And I'm sure Dr. Davis is going to echo the same sentiment, is now we need your feedback on what these things are going to look like. So I definitely want to speak for Edna Rowe specifically when I say our door is open and we're ready to receive any kind of feedback, any kind of input that you guys have as we embark on this new journey for all of us.
Thank you, Principal Joseph. Can you give us the highlights of when the transformation is complete for Edna Rowe? It will be a pre-K 3 through 8 dual language Montessori. Did I say that correctly?
We're currently a dual language. We would like to push into middle school as well. So ideally, we will become a pre-K 3 through 8 dual language Montessori campus.
Okay. And I had a neighbor ask a question about our pre-K 3 and 4. Do they have the same rigorous attendance requirements, or they get truancy type things? Or because when a child, before they really start school, they can take them on journeys and field trips and different things. And once they begin school, then there's a lot less travel options. How does that go for? I didn't know how to answer that. Do you know how that?
And especially since you have us recording, I'm afraid to misquote myself. No, just joking. But with pre-K ages 3 and 4, it becomes more of an optional decision. But yeah, I'm afraid to misquote myself as well. I'm not positive.
But it sounds like it's a little bit more flexible than the regular kindergarten through.
Ages 3 and 4 will be a little more
Excellent.
flexible. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if you can maybe research that and, give me a definitive answer for this neighbor, that would be greatly appreciated. It might change the options of going there right away versus going to a part-time program somewhere else.
Got it.
So, what other questions do neighbors have? I think one of the things that I found out is I thought that the attendance boundary, and I don't know how this is for Dr. Davis's. I don't know if your attendance boundary stays the same, or I think the whole area may change. Do you still have an attendance boundary for Guzik, or will you once you be transformed? Because what I have learned is that the Montessori school will not have an attendance boundary. Correct me if I'm wrong, or Ms. Butler. But from what I understand, I thought it would be the same thing, that we'd have an attendance boundary. But what I've been told, and my terminology may be inaccurate, but there's a preferential or a tiered approach. So Buckner Terrace neighborhood will be the first eligible for apply. Then it's the previous attendance boundary. Then it's Skyline's attendance boundary, the Skyline feeder pattern. Then it's DISD's feeder pattern, and then anybody outside of DISD. So even though you're going to hear that it's no longer a neighborhood school, it's still focusing for our neighborhood. So I hope I put that out there. Ms. Butler, looks like you unmuted yourself. Can you give us some clarification?
I am here on behalf of Angie and Brian, but I do not have that information, so I cannot affirm or deny what you have shared. Those decisions are made at the senior leadership level, so I don't have that information to share about any attendance boundaries or anything of that nature. I can speak to Guzik. Everything will remain the same there, but I don't have the information that you have, Mr. Wood, about it.
I mean, it was just from a conversation. So I guess the main point is we'll hear that it's no longer a neighborhood school, that it's a choice school. And we want to make sure that everybody knows that we're still focusing to have neighborhood priority in Edna Row as it transitions. So I just didn't want anybody to get information about that and, think, oh, now we have to apply and our kids, we live here and we might not be able to get in. So that's, first priority should still go to the neighborhood. Does anybody else have any questions about the Montessori? The IB program? Everybody's so quiet. That's not like y'all. All right, Ms. Paula.
Is there going to be a budget allotted to, I guess, to market or recruit and kind of help educate the neighborhood that Edna Row is now going to be Montessori, and this is the changes we're bringing? Through POPs, there's just a lot of kids in Buckner Terrace that go to other schools and really don't even want to give Edna Row a chance. They're just like, they're either going private or they're just choosing a school elsewhere. Is there going to be something to kind of educate these parents to bring them back, or at least educate the up and coming parents? Since once kids start school, it's kind of hard to take them out and put them into another school because they've already made friends and et cetera. But for the couples in the neighborhood who move in and then try to sell their house when their kids turn 4 so they can get out, or is there going to be something to educate those families to be like, hey, you don't have to sell to get out. You can stay here and go to a Montessori or go to an IB school. Has that been taken into considerations, or a budget for that? Or is it just kind of, we'll just see what happens?
Yes, all of our campuses receives funding from the Office of Transformation and Innovation. Our expectation is that some of that funding is towards recruitment and parent and community engagement and involvement in education. So that is one of our key pillars and guidelines that our schools follow. Also in the district, we have an office that's called Centralized Enrollment, where we have 3 centers all over the city, where those coordinators there are also responsible for educating Dallas ISD families of all of the choice options that we have throughout the district, so that families are aware which choice option come with the free transportation, which choice options do you have to transfer yourself if you want to take it. But definitely we have a lot of funding for marketing and also people power to make sure that our families have the support.
What kind of budget do these campuses get for this transformation?
It varies on the school type. We have 2 different school types. We have a transformation choice school, and they receive $875,000 over 4 years. And then we have innovation choice schools, and they receive $350,000 over 3 years.
So does that, so Edna Rose gonna get, I think, probably the larger amount, because they have to, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows, like, they completely change all the furniture in the entire school. The Montessori approach has a complete different type of furniture. I was like, wow, I had no idea. I'm like, but we just got all new furniture at our school. So hopefully those will go, or that furniture that they'll take out after next year will go to some of our other schools in the area, because it's beautiful furniture. So any other questions? I know
And the furniture is because of the Montessori model, so that it fits the environment. It's a beautiful setup, and so we like our Montessori schools to fit the learning style of the model.
And can you tell us, isn't there a waiting list district-wide to get into Montessori? Isn't there like a waiting list from all of them? I've heard it's pretty big. Is that true?
It varies based on the school. I don't have our current numbers. We're in our enrollment season right now, so I can't speak to our current numbers of where we are for the 2022 application season, but some of our popular Montessori models do have waiting lists, but it varies from from campus to campus.
So I know that with our incredible, beautiful new school, we're so lucky. When I first got here and started, I drove by Guzik all the time, and the outside of it never did it justice. And then when Dr. Davis got here and I actually started going inside the building, I went there the other day because I can share that the neighborhood, we actually helped sponsor a lunch for the administrators and the teachers. And so I dropped off a gift card for them last week. And when I walked in, you could just feel, it was just the love that was in the school. It was decorated, the walls were decorated, and it was so friendly and welcoming. It was really a cool transformation over the last 5-6 years. So thank you for that, Dr. Davis. But our neighborhood is beyond blessed with strong, powerful schools that are taking our neighborhood to the next level. I think that, we're very, very fortunate. So it's exciting. All right. Any other questions? No questions. All right. We do have, with that being said, if there's no other questions about the schools, Officer Joseph is finally with us. He had a late start because he had another engagement. But Officer Joseph, if you have anything for us. Anything? He probably gone. He probably just got home from work.
I'm here, sir. Sorry about that, guys. I got caught up on something. Once again, I want to commend you guys for doing a great job. I'm gonna read the stats for you. Within the neighborhood on 317 Beat, which is everything west of Jim Miller. We had a aggravated with a deadly weapon. at the 5200 block of Everglades. That's pretty much it for that area. And then east of Jim Miller, we had a theft of property on 4700 Bear Ridge. I do want to say that I do see a couple calls of assaults and reports made about family violence. So if you know anybody know of anybody that's going through family violence, please ask them to call 911 and take care of the resources that we have for them. Within the neighborhood, that's the only thing that caught my eye. Overall for the city, we're down a total of 4% for all crime all over the city. We are down in murders, 8%, aggravated assault, 8%. UUMV, which are stolen vehicles, we are up 31%. So with the weather coming pretty soon, weather getting cold tonight, make sure you guys don't start your cars up in the morning, leave them there, because most of the times that's such bad guys look at that and say, let me give me a free car for a couple hours. So try to prevent that by just staying in your car when you warm it up, or just get in and take it off. For Southeast Dallas, our area, we're down a total of 12%, which I believe is one of the best in the city at this moment. We are down 13% in aggravated assaults. We're down 11% in murders. Robberies are down 45%, which is amazing. I know one thing you guys were worried about was racing. We have the street racing task force. For the past 2 weeks, again, they did 102 traffic stops, 186 citations were written, 9 vehicles were towed, and 41 calls were answered when you guys called 911. And that's just in the Southeast area. 11 arrests were made. So that's pretty good. That's in you guys' area. They did go to Great Trinity Forge, where they made 51 traffic stops. 58 citations were written. And 3 vehicles were towed. I did get an email today regarding Skyline that they're racing during the day while school is going on. So we'll be over there to provide extra patrol and try to catch these guys who are doing the speeding with the loud mufflers and all that stuff. So that is a city ordinance. You have it's not supposed to be a loud ordinance. It's a loud ordinance for loud pipes. So if you know somebody that has loud pipes, just call and let us know where they hanging out at and stuff like that. So we can do extra patrol and have the street squad over there in the area to deter from making all that noise and stuff and racing. But other than that, you guys are doing good. I want you to continue to use that 311 out and call 911. You guys have any questions for me? No complaints?
If you have a question, make sure you unmute yourself.
Officer Joseph, thank you for taking the time to come after. I know that your day is long, so we appreciate you joining with us. We appreciate it. And thanks for always being vigilant. And I think that one of the things that you have actually been helping with a lot is tagging dead cars on the side of the streets. So if anybody in the neighborhood has cars that you've seen there for more than, I mean, I don't want to say like a week, but somebody might be on vacation, but if you see a car that's been broken into, and it's on the side of the road, let us know so that we can have that reported and towed, because that breaks, I mean, it breeds more crime. So we would like to keep the streets cleaned as much as possible.
Especially those with flat tires and grass growing underneath. We got to get those off the road, off the streets.
And I do know that I think we've all been seeing that the police department is really focusing on paper tags lately, which, I think that's a great thing. I know we have a couple neighbors that have been pushing for that for a long time. So we appreciate that happening as well. Any other questions for Officer Joseph for the police department? We do have a new community engagement Major Quigg, who is definitely community centric. We're looking at trying to do some events in the neighborhood, and Dr. Davis has actually said yes. We just don't know when we can do it yet, but remember when we had the Chief on the Beat over at Frank Guzik Elementary School, a big party with a lot of police, a lot of vendors, and a lot of fun. We're planning on doing that again. We just don't know when COVID is going to allow us to do that. But Dr. Davis has said, absolutely, I'm ready. And, you know, as soon as they open it up, we're going to get with DPD to get that going. So thank you for that. And we do have another, Miss Campbell is online. She's from Code Enforcement. And about a month ago, January, we had, was it the beginning of January, I believe, we had a event at Egg the Row that people could bring their bulk trash and dump it in the dumpsters. And that was a huge success. I don't know if you want to recap that again, and if you have any questions or any information for us, Ms. Campbell. But if you'd like to talk to us, you can.
Good evening, everyone. So I don't have that information in front of me as far as the numbers is concerned, but yes, we did have a great turn. You guys turned out in good numbers as far as the trash off that was held in that was at the beginning of January. I believe it was the 8th. So you guys turned out well on that. The shredding was very popular with you guys. So hopefully somewhere down the line, if with that type of event, they try to rotate it around the city. So hopefully it can make it back around to you guys' neighborhood. But I did want to have Miss Carla Rivera. She's one of the new neighborhood code reps that's have joined the Southeast team. I wanted to let her speak. She just wanted to share a little information with you guys. Thank you for inviting us, Daniel.
Hey, you have an open invitation to come to our neighborhood. And I actually saw firsthand the enforcement that you guys were doing on one of our shopping centers. That, if y'all notice, we needed to create a lot of different things in our neighborhood. We've got good identity. You know, everybody knows who Buckner Terrace is, where we are, but we needed our schools to be improved. We're there. We got our schools. They're all in the process of being upgraded big time. The last thing that we have is our business area along Samuel Boulevard and along I-30. So I've got the commitment from not only Councilman Basil Dewar, but many people in the city that we're going to clean that up. And thank you to the code officers, because it's unfortunate, but a lot of the people that have the businesses or own the buildings along Samuel Boulevard are not neighborhood friendly folks. So we appreciate you encouraging them to be friendly neighborhood folks. So I'll let you go ahead and talk, Ms. Carla. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yes, that's actually what I was going to speak on. That me and another inspector did come out last week to actually, we're going to be working on all the shopping centers. We started focusing on one that's on Samuel and Jim Miller. We did come out, we did pretty much a sweep in that shopping center. We checked COs, which are certificate of occupancies. Making sure everyone did have theirs. We were monitoring any illegal signage or flag signs in that shopping center. So we did come out there, we did a sweep. The inspector, she's not for that area, but she was assisting me. She's gonna be the one that she went out there and is gonna be creating cases for any of those businesses that are in violation. So we're focusing on one shopping center, and then once we're done with that one, we're gonna try to keep that one in place and then go from one shopping center to the other. I did want to provide an update on that. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully if it doesn't, we're not gonna just clean it up and then go to the next one and abandon it. We're gonna try to keep focus on that shopping center as well throughout, monitor it so it doesn't go back to what it originally was. But we are gonna be working on that as myself with the inspector as well as Ms. Campbell. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
So what is the best thing that neighbors can do to give you the tools that you need to do your job? Is it using the 311 or the Our City app and doing reports?
Yes, definitely. Either calling it in to 311 or our Dallas app, or going online. That way we have pretty much all the reports in, and we have a clear how many reports that have been called in, and that way the inspectors can get on that as well.
Okay, so when we do a lot of reports, all of a sudden we see closed, no infraction found. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're not addressing it, or does that just mean that, you know, you're working on it? Because that when a lot of neighbors say when they report things on the 311 app, all of a sudden they get a report that they closed the case and nothing was done and the infraction is still there. I just want to clarify, because I think I know the answer. I think that, you know, maybe the address was incorrect. Maybe there was already another case, so you combine cases and you're working on. So there's no easy way to transfer that information back to say, hey, we're closing this case, but we've got it open on this. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes, Daniel, thank you for bringing it up. A lot of times it could be a number of reasons why a case may have been closed immediately. Like you mentioned, if it's an incorrect address, they will close the case. Sometimes, as far as, you know, this is no violation, but there may be another case that's for the accurate address that's already open. Or if there's already a case open at the same address, it may be a duplicate. And in any instance, it should notate that this is a duplicate case. So it could vary as far as why the case was closed. But you brought up good points. If you get email or a notification that the case has been closed, and you have questions still with the status of it, you can always contact myself or Miss Rivera, checking the status just to see, why was this case closed? If you not for sure, if it doesn't mention that this is a duplicate or whatever the case may be, and it's just saying the case closed, you can always reach out to our office. And so, we can give you an update on it.
So neighbors, I don't know everybody else's vision on this, but I know that the neighbors that are on this call all care about our neighborhood immensely. And after they just picked up our bulk trash this last week, how many people are seeing bulk trash already on the curb? So that's one thing that I've asked, is that they don't give them warnings, that they just give them tickets. It's not, I don't want to be ugly about it. I personally got a ticket, not for bulk trash, but for litter in my alley. So I know the ticket firsthand hurts, but at the end of the day, I make sure that I don't have litter in my alley anymore. So I think, they've been nice during COVID, and they were letting people slide for a long time. And I think we're back, and our neighborhood switched weeks about 2 years ago, I think. So I think they've had enough time, there's enough tools to be able to know when bulk trash is. So that's one thing that I've asked them. My whole goal is to concentrate on our businesses. I think our neighbors are doing the best that they can, but anybody that is putting out bulk trash immediately, because as soon as you see the first one, 5 other people on the street start putting out their trash. So it's a domino effect that, we definitely want to try to avoid. So Ms. Campbell, what do we do when we see shopping carts in the neighborhood? What happens with that when code sees shopping carts?
So normally, I guess for the shopping carts, you can, if it's on the public right of way. When I say the public right of way, like the sidewalk or so, you can call it into 311 or the parkway. That's that area between the sidewalk and the curb. That's considered the public right of way. you can call it into 311 and we'll try to see as far as the appropriate department trying to pick up or contacting whatever business is responsible for those shopping carts. And Daniel brought up a good part about the bulky trash. If you guys, when you see, just because someone placed their bulky trash out, please don't follow suit because your neighbor did, because that's a lot of times what we may hear. Know when your bulky trash time is. Definitely, because normally it is, ideally we do not give a notification about bulky trash. That is usually instant citation. So there are several ways you can find out when the bulky trash time is for the area. And if your neighbor doesn't know, please let them know, be neighborly, and you can let them know. You can go online, put your address in, it'll let you know when your bulky trash. You can call 311. Even on the app, you can go in on the Our Dallas app and go up under the sanitation link. And so, you will be able to put in your address and find out where your bulky trash. I can't count how many times we hear, well, I saw several people there and put theirs out, so I thought it was time. So please know when your bulky trash time is. That can't be emphasized too much. And so that, yeah, with that being said, because I always, that's just something just, and as you hear, some people are for just the instant citations and some think we should give notifications. So there's always split ideas on how it should be approached. But the ideal it is we always issue instant citations.
I wanted to add a little bit to what Ms. Yvette said. As far as knowing when your bulk trash is out, if you do go online, you can also opt out to receive text every time, text reminders on when to set out your bulk trash. Also, as far as the shopping cart pickup, you can call into 311 and there's also a service request. If you go to our Dallas app, you type in shopping carts, there's an SR that you can click on and it'll say shopping cart pickup. The shopping carts, however, have to be empty and they have to be, like Ms. Yvette said, on the public right of way for them to be picked up. But they can be on our Dallas app as well.
Excellent. Looks like we have a question from Ms. Morgan.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I am new to the organization. I've been here since 2006 and I've attended a couple of meetings at Edna Road, the school, but this is my first meeting Zoom, and I thank you guys for inviting me. I would like to make a plea. I realize we're talking about the bulky trash, and now we're supposed to have bad weather. What are we to do with our limbs that will happen to fall during this time, and it's not time for our bulky trash to be picked up?
Oh, great question. So normally if there's a winter storm that comes through and it affects a neighborhood or quite a few neighborhoods throughout the city of Dallas, and the branches or tree limbs have to come down, they have to be placed out. What we normally would get is a administrative directive from our administration letting us know, okay, at this time we're granting people time or whatever to set out their brush, the tree limbs that was no cause and effect on their behalf. But if we don't get that directive and it's just a one or two people that may have been affected, then you still have to follow the process. You could either contact, they still have Cost Plus through sanitation, make arrangements. If you're going to set those items out, make arrangements to have them removed, or you can contact our Cost Plus department in sanitation and make arrangements to have them removed. But usually if it's going to affect the whole city, then our administration will make a call on that. and we wouldn't be issuing citations at that time. But that does come down from our administration, our executive team. Did that
Excellent.
answer your question?
Any other questions for our code enforcement folks? Well, thank you for joining us. I do want to give a shout out to Miss Ruth Quinn. I just see her, and she's going to hate me for this, but I do believe she just celebrated a milestone birthday last week. So happy birthday, Ruth. 82 years old, y'all. Happy birthday.
You weren't supposed to tell the.
Oh, at 82, you're supposed to tell the age every year because it's an accomplishment every year. It's very, and you're doing very well for that. So happy birthday. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're on mute. There you go. Oh, you muted again. Whoops. You're still muted, Miss Ruth. You know, technology, it gets us. There you go.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, I have one question.
Yep.
I usually associate the baccalaureate program with high school. How does that affect an elementary school?
I'm not sure if Dr. Davis is still here, but from what I understand, that prepares the kids from an early age for that whole process. There's a lot of charter schools, I believe, like Uplift Education is the same kind of curriculum. But I do know if they do the baccalaureate program, if I'm saying that correctly, they, between their elementary through high school, if they do that program, they actually go into college with a majority of the credits that they need to be able to graduate. So like I said, I don't know that exact term, but I do believe that that is the benefit of that program. But I don't know for specific. I do know that we are going to have a lot of meetings with Edna Rowe and Guzik over the next how many months, and we will, invite people back so that, because there will be questions along the way. Not everything is going to be what people want or expect. Some things, are going to frustrate people, but they're going to roll the processes out the best that they can to be the most successful for all of the students in the future. So, hey, I just got word literally via text like 3 minutes ago. The Timberlawn development is going to be named the Sereno, Sereno at Buckner Terrace. In Spanish, it means serene. Did I pronounce that right, Paula? I looked to my favorite neighbor that speaks Spanish. That's the best that I can do. Serrano at Buckner Terrace. So we finally have a name, and just to let y'all know, we're going to have a park in front of that development. So it's going to be a serene development, and I think it's going to be awesome. The development next door at Buckner Retirement is they're waiting for their permit so that they can start building. So that should be very soon. We'll start to see the buildings come up. And there's actually the development on Forney Road across from the Kingdom Hall, that there's some like 43 townhomes that are going to be built. So we're working on that as well. Ms. Morgan, do you have another question?
I am having a problem with cloudy water, and I didn't know if I am alone with that. And who do I contact to remedy that? From the kitchen sink.
I would call a plumber. I'm guessing a plumber would be able to help with that one.
Since they're doing a lot of utility work, I didn't know if that would
what
be the
area-
cause of it.
What area?
Yeah, do you
live in?
know what that pipeline work is on in the alley between Everglade and Twining?
Is it? It's probably they're putting fiber optics in the neighborhood right now. That's the bulk
They've been
of the
doing it for
digging.
like 2 months.
Yep. No, I mean, it's every street, every alley. Remember, we have 2,630 homes.
I mean, they've been
in the
working
neighborhood.
on that alley for 2 months.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, are we to expect something like that on all the alleys?
So I'll if you could send me an email reminder, I'll follow up with city staff to find out what the progress of the construction is and ask for that. Ms. Morgan, what area of the neighborhood do you live in?
I live on
She lives 2 doors
Twining
down from me.
Street.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's something with the water line. I mean, I haven't heard that they're doing water line, but
I haven't had any trouble, Miss Linda. So
Okay, because I have called the water department and they've come out and opened the hose down the street, the fire hydrant down the street, and
yeah.
that kind of clears it up for a couple of days and then it comes back.
Yeah, I don't know.
well,
I
we
don't
filter
know.
our water, I guess, but
Well, I don't at the kitchen sink. I do at the refrigerator.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would start with the water department again. If they've done that and flushed it out, I'd probably call and ask for that again. But maybe when you're asking in the water department, ask them if they're doing any work on the water lines in that area. I mean, maybe that's
I will do
what they're
that. I
doing.
will do that.
So,
Thank you
and-
so much.
And definitely let us know how that works out, because I'm sure with all of our homes being, built in the 60s, we're all facing similar situations at one point or another. All right, do we have
Okay, thank you.
anybody have anything else?
You,
If you, go
you
ahead.
mentioned the FiOS. Which is it, Verizon or AT&T?
AT&T is what I've been told for the fiber.
Okay.
Is what I've been told. That's what everybody that was installing it has said. And I haven't, gotten it yet. So
I don't know how it is for other
people.
people, but I have it and it's just absolutely fantastic. And normally I am a total hater of AT&T services, but this one area, they're knocking it out of the park.
All right, not to call out another neighbor, but is Paula's little Buzzy and Vera stealing the show of the neighborhood association tonight? I don't know, but I'm hungry too. And Vera, can I have a snack? So Vera, where did you go today? Did you go somewhere? Did you see a friend of yours?
What did you see today? Big Boy? Where did you see Big Boy? At the aquarium?
She named
Dear-
one of the fishes Big Boy and she likes to go visit it.
So if y'all haven't been yet, the Dallas Children's Aquarium, I know it has children in the name, but adults and children alike, it's a reasonable get in. If you want to go more than once, a season pass is definitely well worth it. It's usually about $8 more per kid to get in with a season pass, maybe 15 extra for an adult. But it's something that Councilman Basil Dua is very proud of because as the park board member, I was told that there was no options and we voted to close it. And Councilman Basil Dua actually was able to dig into the coffers and saved it with some money. And the aquarium is absolutely, every time I go, I see so many families and kids absolutely loving it. And I know Vera's working her way up to feeding the stingrays on a future visit. But all right, any other questions? Anybody else have any announcements?
Daniel.
Yes, hey, Ms. Ernstein.
Hey, I wanted to ask a quick question. They're building something at the end of Clover Haven on Buckner. Do you know what that is?
Clover Haven and Buckner. The only thing I know that they're doing along there is putting sidewalks along the entire stretch of
On
Buckner.
the other side, where the
Oh,
warehouse is. Yeah. They
Nope, I don't.
building something fierce over there.
Oh, yeah, I haven't heard any of that. I haven't seen any of that. So I'll have to check it out and I'll try
Yeah,
to
check
figure it
and see
out
what
and let you know.
Okay,
Excellent.
thank you.
Excellent. All right. Anything else? Anybody got anything else? So I don't know if any of our principals are still online, but one thing that I'm working on a neighborhood benefit, the four neighborhood schools, Frank Guzik, Edna Rowe, Bales Elementary, which is just north of 30, and Cyberstein, which is down in Parkdale. I'm working with a group that we're trying to organize and raise money to get all of the students Christmas presents. So you're going to start seeing information about that. So if you want to donate to that, we're going to start collecting money for that. It's actually a whole lot more reasonable than any of us would actually think. But our goal is every student gets a present, but every third grader gets a new bike. So I think that that's going to definitely be something fun for all of our kids, and something that I think everybody can appreciate. And I mean, we're all kids when it comes to presents. So regardless of how you feel about the holiday, I think that, you know, everybody likes a present, whether it's a birthday present or a Christmas present. So anybody else have anything else? If we don't have anything else, one thing real quick. The group home that we talked about the last time, it comes up on March 5th to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And after that, it would go to City Council. The hope is that it will be denied for compatibility of the community. So I'm going to post on Nextdoor and on the website, and I'll email the information out. One thing that I do know that our Planning Commission is big about is new businesses reaching out to the community so that they're a good community member. And the person that is trying to open this business lives in Salina, and we've never, ever, ever heard from this person. And I mean, me personally, you know, I don't think that it's a good fit for our neighborhood. And I think that we should all rally behind to oppose this at Planning and Zoning. If it goes from Planning and Zoning, it's not the last step. It still has to go to council. So at that point, we can rally to Councilman Basil Dua and ask him to deny it at his level. So it's by no means at a end point yet, but we definitely want to express our concerns. If you have concerns and if you want to support it, you are more than welcome to support it. But definitely know that your support is going to come with accountability to try to hold that new business accountable to be a good neighbor. So
What is it a group home for?
it's 7 foster boys that have been through the juvenile system that are going into a group home, is what we've been told. So
And
nobody
it's for profit, you said, right?
Absolutely. It's
not a
it's
nonprofit
not a
organization.
it's not a mom and dad that are trying to take in a few foster kids to help them out. It's a facility, it's an institution, and it doesn't belong inside of a neighborhood. I would be appalled to have that next door to me personally. And I don't think, I mean, I'm sorry that these children are in that situation, but we don't have the resources to have that type of facility as a next door neighbor. It's, you know, so it's a difficult, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I believe that people should have the right to do what they want to do with their homes, but I don't think it should be at the expense of our neighborhood. So, all right, does anybody have any other questions?
Officer Joseph, I have one last thing.
Mr. Joseph.
We had a VIP class this past weekend, and it's going to be another one in June 18th, I believe. So when that time's come around, if anybody want to join VIP, just let me know. I want to make Southeast stronger than what it was. I don't know how it was before, but I want it to be one of the top in the city. And I know you guys can help me with that too. And we also have a Citizens Police Academy coming up in March. the 19th. So I will send a flyer to Daniel Wood so you guys can get in that class too.
Excellent. I do know that our volunteers and patrol is really kind of, I would call it on life support at this point because of COVID. We have not patrolled like we have, but I do know that from the years of the hard work that our VIPs have done, our neighborhood still enjoys a very low crime rate. Less than 1% of the homes, it's actually closer to 0.5% of the homes are affected by a crime on any given month. We publish that data on the website every month. So you can see that, as well as the real estate stats are on there. I do recommend if you have any friends or anybody that is looking to move into the neighborhood, they do it pretty quickly. I believe with the increase in the impacts that our schools are going to have on our neighborhood are going to be vast, and it's going to happen very quickly. So anything else? I know somebody.
So someone asked what the location of the group home was.
Oh, it's at the corner of, hold on.
It's by the Skyline High School, isn't it?
Yep, it's right across the street from the ball field at Skyline.
It's in 20 in Lomax.
Lomax. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. So I will post that information. At the very least, I think that the owner of this business should come to the community and sell their business plan to the neighborhood and how they plan on being a good business. That's not happened. They haven't reached out to us. And we've been established for over 40 years. So everybody knows who we are, or they should if they want to come in and do business in our neighborhood. So, all right.
Don't we have another group home in the neighborhood, an adult?
I'm sure we do. There's probably several of them that happened before we were being very vigilant about it. But yes, there are other group homes throughout the neighborhood.
There's one on Great On Lane.
So I think that there's probably several. Again, remember 2,630 homes, plus all of the gated communities that we've got coming in or that are here. So we'll update that. It'll be closer to, 3,800 homes by the time we're all said and done. So, all right. Anything else? Anybody got anything else? I'm glad to see everybody. What are your thoughts about having in-person meetings? If DISD opens it up, should we get back to Edna Rowe? Everybody good for it?
Yes.
I mean, I can't wait to see everybody in person. Oh, look at Miss Vera flirting with Grandpa. You see that, y'all? But I can't wait to see everybody in person again. I do want to, and Principal Joseph has actually agreed that he has the technology to allow us to continue doing the broadcast. It might not be perfect, but we are going to try to continue to do the online streaming as well so that people can see what we're talking about remotely as well. So that's our goal.
It would be great since my kids will be in PJs.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's hard when folks, different situations. Some people don't like to drive in the evenings, but, I think that, for some people, they want to get out and, we're itching to, see each other again. And another thing, another question real quick, National Night Out is usually the first Tuesday of every October. Would anybody be opposed if we do it another day? And the reason that I'm recommending or suggesting that we do it a different day, so it'll be kind of an awkward, we'll be an odd man out, but we'll get more resources from the police department, we'll get more resources from the city, and we won't have to share it with the entire city. Does that make sense to people? I mean, I hope that is something that we could embrace, and it's something as a discussion at this point, but we can move forward. Looks like we have a special guest that's joined us. If he'd like to say hello, welcome, Senator West.
I would love to say hello to Buckner Terrace, Homeowners Association. It's a pleasure. I got this email today saying that you were going to have a virtual town hall meeting, essentially. And I just wanted to stop in to say hello. I've been out of the city, realistically. I wouldn't say out of the city. I've been out of contact with different communities within the senatorial district for frankly, about the last years, a year and a half or so running for U.S. Senate, then another year dealing with COVID-related matters, and then last year, spending 10 months down in Austin, Texas. Well, I'm spending more time at home now to make certain that I stop by to say hello to every one of you, tell you that I look forward to seeing you in person, be able to discuss what's going on in Austin, and being able to answer any questions that you might have, suggestions that you might have to allow me to serve you better as your state senator. So, Tom, that's kind of what I want to say, because I know you probably have a long agenda, but if there are any questions or anything, I'm more than happy, Daniel, to be able to answer them.
I'd love to give you a shout out for Senator West. He was one of the people instrumental in helping pass the Brimer bill, which is going to be transformational for our city as a whole. And some of the good and the bad, I don't know what people think about it, but they are talking about redoing, and the city council actually talked about completely building a new convention center in the city. Regardless of how you feel about that, let's set that aside for a second. One of the jewels of our city is Fair Park, and tied to that new convention center is about $300 million to renovate and restore Fair Park and the incredible largest collection of it just escaped me the type of building, but Art Deco buildings.
Art Deco, right.
Art Deco buildings in the world, I believe. We have the largest collection of buildings in the world, and that $300 million is going to bring those buildings back to life like they were built yesterday. And I think that, thank you, Senator West, for championing that on the Senate side. We had Achia and Crockett that helped push it through on the House side. And we appreciate that. Me being on the park board, I couldn't ask for more, because this is going to happen during my lifetime and my service on the park board. And I couldn't be more excited to see this.
Daniel,
yes, sir. Go ahead.
Can I add something?
Yep.
Also, the passage of that bill, there was a lot of negotiations, my friends, in terms of that particular bill. Many of you are familiar with the University of North Texas, Dallas, first public university in the city of Dallas, which now has over 4,000 students. And not during my lifetime, but there will probably be 25 to 30,000 students at that university. So you know what that's going to mean in terms of access to higher education. And part of the deal was to make certain that when the time comes, that the city will put a hotel on the campus of UNT Dallas in order to teach hotel restaurant management. Think about that. We don't have a hotel restaurant management program in the city of Dallas, and in the years to come, that program will be on the campus of the University of Texas at Dallas, as well as having passed a bill this session, be able to get $100 million, build frankly, a college science on the campus of UNT Dallas also. So there are great things being done, and it's being done on a bipartisan basis.
Excellent, thank you. That's actually my degree. hospitality and tourism management in Wisconsin.
So what do you want to do? You want to be the dean of it or something? Or what?
No. Hopefully by that time that happens, I can retire and live on the farm back home.
I got you.
But excellent. So there's a lot of great things that have happened. We don't always get everything that we want in the Senate I'm just saying in the legislature in general, but the art is making the deal. So we appreciate you making the deals and, bringing our interest back to us. So thank you for that. Does anybody have any questions for Senator West? Anybody? You might know that if you have voted already, you've probably figured out that we're no longer in Congress District 30. We're now in 32 with Colin Allred. So Buckner Terrace has changed in that. We're still in House District 100 and still with Senator West.
And there's almost 1 million people down at Senate District 23.
That's awesome.
So I just stopped by to say hello this evening, and Daniel, I look forward to visiting y'all in person when you hear it open back up again.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Anybody else have anything? I don't think we can get any better than that as a ending to our great meeting. So thank you to everybody for joining us this evening. And Ms. Williams, did you have a question? Oh, just saying hello. All right. So there's no other questions. April 23rd, save the date. April 23rd, it's my park day. And I don't know why, but the park staff thinks that I like Everglade Park. So they've chosen Everglade Park to be, I don't know why, but some kind of influence when I yelled last year that they picked a different park instead of my park. So April 23rd, let's spend some time together at our park. I promise we'll have some sort of breakfast and we'll have some kind of party because it's going to be one of the first events that we do in person. So April 23rd, it's my park day, Everglade Park. So save the date. We'll see you there for sure. Probably at, I would say probably 9:30 is the start time of it, but save the date for more information coming soon. All right. With that being said, hey neighbors.
Motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn. Y'all, I miss y'all. It's good seeing y'all again, and we'll talk to you real soon.